Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So I am going to do another one of my cloud pour kiss pours. So I really enjoyed the last one that I did, and I thought the colours, I thought it looked quite good. So I wanted to do one in greens and purples. Only thing was, I normally use my marte paints, which I have used majority of this. The marte, I've got the light purple here, but I don't have, marte don't seem to, well, I think they make it, but I can't get it in Australia, is a phthalo green. So I've had to use eraldo de paulo deep sea for the dark green. So in total I've got light purple, normal purple, viridian, which is the light green, and this deep sea, which is the dark green. I did make my paints with, I will have to double check. Sorry. Okay, what did I use? So I used 22 grams of paint, 45 grams of Australian floetrol, but I also added a couple of grams, and when I say a couple, I mean like 3 or 4 grams of water. I wanted to make them slightly thinner to see if I get better clouds. Even though the clouds were quite good in that one, I was wondering if the thinner mix would make them a little bit more fluffy. So that was the plan. And then for the white, I put a little bit more of the satin enamel in it. So I used 30 grams paint, 20 grams satin enamel, and 100 grams Australian floetrol. So that is the plan. And this enamel is decoart Americana Decor, satin enamel in pure white. So you don't use a lot of this, 20 grams, and this whole thing is 236. So this could potentially do 10 paintings just with this little container. So that is awesome. So what we need to do is we need to make the 2 different cups, 1 purples, 1 greens, and kiss them together as they are hitting the surface of the canvas. So we will need to get our paints ready, which will be our 2 purples, and we're going to use half of the white. I am going to put a tad bit of white at the bottom this time. Then I go the transparent colour. Usually the 2 darker colours are transparent, and the 2 lighter colours in this are the opaques. So then we just want to put some of this in. Put some of this one in. And yeah, I can feel that they are thinner, which is perfect. It's just what I wanted. Then put a bit more white in. And then we are just going to keep layering it. I'm going to start putting my cups off the canvas because I don't want it to drip on the canvas. And each time we do a layer, we just add more paint because it gets to the higher part of the canvas, and which means the top part of the cup becomes the outer rings. So you want them to be a little bit, whoops, this colour first. We want them to be bigger, so you've got to add more paint. So the bottom of the cup is the last bit that comes out in the middle, so you don't need a lot, and then as the rings get bigger you want them to be larger, so you just add more of your paint. Now that is about half of my white, so that's enough white. Now I'm going to use the rest of the purple. So this isn't much thinner than what I used last time. Just a tad thinner. I just thought adding a couple of grams of water might just make the clouds push through the colours a little bit better. I didn't add any water to the white. I don't think it needed it because the white was actually already thinner than the colours anyway. Because the satin enamel paint is thinner than the white mont paint. Okay, that's a pretty full cup. So now we are going to put this one aside and get the green one ready. So there's the two greens, the viridian and the deep sea. So we're just going to put a little bit of white at the bottom, not too much, because you don't want a giant big cloud right at the base. Oops, might have put a little bit too much of that in then. And like the other one, we just keep layering this. So the good part about it is using the two colours and the white ends up touching both greens, one on either side of the white. So they'll both get the cloud effects in them. And you can do this however you like to do yours. I sometimes feel if something's working, I try to stick to it. I may adjust my measurements slightly, but I don't go overboard unless I want to do a completely different test run. But if I'm going for the same type of effects, I usually stick to it. I just adjust things a little bit just to see if I get slightly different effects. And I wasn't sure whether I should have used this viridian or whether I should have used one called aqua green, because I do think the aqua green would have looked pretty good as well. Okay, lucky last. So keep in mind the opaque colour, which is this one here, usually becomes the dominant colour. The deep sea, which is the transparent green, usually kind of blends in and kind of gets mixed into the colours a little bit more. So, time to put my gloves on. Okay, here we go. Now, I'm going to squat down a little bit. Actually, no, I don't think I can, because I want to kind of do a twist, and I don't think I can if I'm squatting down. It's just sometimes it's easier to see if the paints are actually doing the kiss. Okay, they're quite full. Sorry if I go quiet, I'm concentrating. So I'm just slowly twisting my body back and forth. At the same time, trying to keep the cups pouring out in an even pace and kissing the whole time. It's a little bit of a challenge doing all three things at once. Just do your best. I don't know if I completely stayed in the center of the canvas. And I am losing paint off the bottom of my canvas right now, so I'm going to stop very soon. Push my cups together, take them off. Okay. Now I'm just tilting it because I'm losing this end. Breathe a little bit. Sometimes just stop breathing because you're like, what's going on? And yeah. So I'm just going to go towards this end and then come back. Looks like I have a good amount of paint on the canvas this time. Sometimes it looks like you're kind of going to struggle to get it all in. Coming down this way and then going back this way. So I'm gonna go over this corner now that I'm here. So go and then over. Whoa, I'm back. And then come down to this bottom corner. I'm gonna go over and back. Now that I've got those two corners done, I've got purple fingers, so I'm gonna just touch a little bit on the edge and a little bit of green, just touch that on that corner. Now, I'm going to come down to this bottom corner. I want it to go over and then come back. And then I'm going to go up to this top corner. Going over and then coming back. Alrighty, now once I've got that in the middle, I'm just going to, that corner looked like it was done. And use a green finger to get that corner. Alrighty. Now, is there any part of this we did want to tip off? Not really. We just want to move it around a little bit, see if we can cause a little bit of friction between the paints to bring up some more of those clouds. So often by stretching the paint over itself, you will get more clouds. Okay. I don't think I'm going to get too much more movement without changing the picture. So this one here actually looks, the composition of it is a little bit different compared to the last one. So the center looked a little bit like it, I went a little bit wacky right at the beginning. But that's also, I put white at the base. So maybe that's kind of done it. But also the green looks like there was more come out of the green right at the end compared to the purple. The colours have intertwined into each other. It's not as noticeable. So I'm going to just make sure my corners are definitely done. And then I'm going to get my gloves off because I can't do too much without worrying I'm going to drip paint onto. As you can see, I've got a purple hand and a green hand. Okay, bit of paint on my finger there, and wipe that. So, this is pretty cool. Definitely got clouds again. Clouds coming through. I think I actually got more of the deep sea in the green side than I did the darker purple in the purple side. It has mixed, but it seems to be more, this has given me a lot more different variation. But see in the center, the purple's kind of only got a little bit here when the green's kind of got a decent amount. That could have just been the way it was getting tipped out towards the end. But I have got puffy clouds coming up and even some little specks that have come up through it. There's a bit of green over here, and there's definite purple and green lines going into each other here, and there's a nice big green one coming stretching through there. So we do have colours that have intermingled. We are going to give it a quick torch and just make sure that there is no air bubbles, and it may bring up some clouds. Okay, as you can see, I didn't keep the torch in one spot for too long because I did not want to burn any paint. Those flamethrowers can burn your paint. So this is doing its thing. I believe I'm best to give it a pause for a little bit and let the clouds develop a little bit more to see how they go. And I think there's more clouds on this 3 sides of the canvas and not as many in that one section there, even through here. So the purple has given clouds, but that section's just a little bit more sparse than the others. We're going to pause it and see if more will come up with a little bit of time. So I'll be back. Okay, we're back. So it's been 10 minutes. Just let it settle in to do its thing. So the clouds have become a little bit more prominent, mostly over this area. This area here still stayed a little bit more plain. Probably a little couple of clouds have formed, but not really a lot. The center's kind of just puffing up a little bit. Hasn't really changed a lot. It's just kind of got a bit more fluffier. But I am quite happy with it. I'm just noticed a tiny little hair. Okay. I should have a shave because I lose a couple of pieces of my beard occasionally in painting and it frustrates me. But I love the green. The green's actually become a lot more a mixture of the colours has really kind of gone through. Love these darker little veins coming through over here. And you can see a little bit more darker bits over there. The purple, there's a little bits. Probably if I had a darker purple again. This dark purple's, it's deepish, but Maybe if I had one that was a bit more like a phthalo purple, or no, a dioxazine purple, probably would have been a little bit more shown up a bit more in the canvas. But I think this is pretty cool. Colours aren't too bad, so I'm going to bring you down for a close-up. And this is what I see from my angle. So as you can see, the different greens have really kind of given me a lot more difference in the lights and the darks, when the purple's kind of stayed a little bit more that light purple colour. But I love this green streak that runs through this side. Up here where the purple and the green kind of intermingle is excellent. And there's a green streak going through here. The purple does come through into the green. Makes it interesting. Let's go down for a bit of a close-up. So this is the center. So you can see the greens definitely must have been more coming out of the cup towards the end there. And then we got these clouds and where the bits join up. Coming down here, a whole bunch of different coloured greens. There's those nice dark greens over here where they streak through the clouds. And then this one big green that joins all the way through into the purple and comes up over this way. We've got colours coming up through here, another green stripe. But yeah, interesting. I'm quite happy with this. I wonder how this would be if I had different colours. It's not so easy doing kiss pour with more than 2 cups. So maybe if I had a couple of split cups, then I could do like 4 colours and see how that turned out. But yeah, I hope you guys find this interesting. Oh, and I did a little coaster with the leftover paint in the cups. Yeah, it's okay. I wouldn't call it fantastic. I'll probably paint over that. I thought might as well just use up the excess paint. So scrape the bottoms or the sides underneath. Get rid of any drips that are coming off. And that's the artwork done. Just let it settle in. It might alter a little bit, but not much. So I hope you liked it. So comment, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you tomorrow for another pour. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.